Good morning, it's FideMaster John Curtis, and you're looking at the final position of the game. I'm going to show you. We're just going to go into analysis on this particular game. And I was playing at XIS235, and he is from an international. He's rated 2,195. And I was rated 2,219. It was just played this morning at 8:15 a.m. But unfortunately, I couldn't stream live today because I've got a commitment elsewhere in a double snooker championship. So what I'd like to do is just share this game with you just briefly. Okay, here it goes. White played d4, and I played knight to f6. c4, usual queen's pawn, g6, c3, bishop g7. Now, what we're doing here is I'm fighting for the black squares and he's fighting for the white ones. Now, e5 can be a problem. You can gain space. So I played d6 to prevent that and prepare castling. So now I castle, and we're nearly both completed our development. Bishop e7, e2, and I play bishop g5. The reason why I do this is because that's my white squared bishop, and if he plays h3, I haven't got much scope for that bishop and long term, and I'm just happy to get rid of it and just play on the black squares only, and play the e5 move and knight c6 and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so I played knight back here. I've got a star, best move. Thank you, Mr. Engine. I'm glad you agree with me. Anyway, he played h3. I thought that was a bad move. It sort of helps me go where I want to go anyway. And I took the knight. We've got a star, best move. Bishop recovers, and then I played e5. It says it's good, but knight c6 was actually better. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? I can see what the computer's coming at, and in my future games when I get this position, and I've had it quite a few times, I'm going to play that knight c6. I'm trying to install that in my little chess memory and play knight c6 instead. Okay, d5, star, and then I played f5 because I thought to myself, how else do I proceed? And now I can see why the computer said play knight c6. If white had proceeded to push the pawn on, I could have played my knight from c6 to d4, so this knight could be up here, right, instead of way back here. So I made things hard for myself by not thinking like an engine. Anyway, I start thinking like an engine here, and I play knight c5, but the engine then tells me it's an inaccuracy that a5 is best. I was a bit worried. I didn't want to push my pawns because I could see that he wanted to get some queen's wing action going, and I thought to myself, I don't want to encourage him too much, but he played b4. And so I took with the pawn. I thought, oh, star, best move. Anyway, he took with the knight. You should take with the, play bishop g4. Oh, there you go. I didn't see that one either. I'm blind as a bat, aren't I? Anyway, so I took that off, and I was really happy with this position because I thought, well, I sort of haven't quite equalised, but it's not a bad game. And then I played knight to d7, and I got a star for that. Bishop e3. I thought, well, I'll play queen h5, and I got a star for that move. My idea is to play bishop to h6, right? Attack the bishop, then play bishop h6, and get rid of my bad bishop. So he played queen c2, and I played bishop h6, and I got a star. So I've got all the right ideas going. The engine is agreeing with me, so I must be doing something right. And he took it off. I recaptured. And then he played c5, best move. Okay, so I had to have an idea. What am I going to do? So I played knight c6, and I got a star, right? He went back, and then I played rook on a5 to e1. I got another star. And then he took the pawn, and I took back. Now, this is a really double-edged position because he's going to penetrate. Look, he's threatening queen takes b pawn, queen takes pawn on d6. And I thought, well, he's on the white squares, and he's attacking everything that I've got, so I've got a counter-attack. So I played e5, right, e4. And the reason being is I've got a counter-attack on the black squares. I've got to get something going. Or if he just pinches a pawn, I'm going to be dead meat. He's just going to lap up the pawns, and I'm going to worry about him queening pawns, extra pawns that he's got. So he went there, and then I pushed the pawn. I got an idea. The idea was he has to take the B pawn, and then maybe I get some counterplay. So, but he took the D pawn, double question mark, and then allows this big boom, knight e4, and everything I worked for, all my hard-earned ideas came to fruition, because I always want to play on the black squares. Now have a look at my pieces. I've got a queen on a black square, a castle on a black square, I've got a knight aiming at a black square on f2. I've got a pawn on e3 aiming at a black square on f2, okay? So here we go, queen c7, right, queen c7, here he goes. So he doesn't know what else to do. Pawn takes, pawn check. He plays king up. He didn't like the knight checks. Now what key move do you make here? Well, you look at the position and you say to yourself, his queen is the only piece stopping queen check. So what can I do to move that queen off that square and limit its mobility? Okay, rook f7. And now his queen, you can see there's no square that he can go to stop the check. So he runs back to c2, double question mark. And then bang, in comes my check, another black square. So he moves back, and then I knight check him. And then after that, he resigned, right? Because mate follows. If king h2, if he played king h2, I play knight takes, double check, king here, and queen checks. What a lovely game to start with in the morning. Yes, that's my first game of the morning, but because I wasn't streaming, I thought, well, I'll give that to you. Okay, guys? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with you shortly. Please hit the thumbs up for the video and subscribe free. And if you do so, you'll be given notifications of all my extra videos. They're great for beginners. And this game is certainly a delight for me, and I'm sure it's a delight for many of my followers. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.